There is a metal sitting quietly on the shelf of almost every kitchen store in the world. In raw form, it costs less than $1 an ounce. Drop a small piece into contaminated water. Wait. Silver ions released from its surface penetrate bacterial cell walls and stop DNA replication. The bacteria die. The water becomes safer. No moving parts, no electricity, no complex system, just a metal and time. This isn't new. Herodotus recorded it in the 5th century BC. Persian king Cyrus the Great refused to drink water stored in anything but silver vessels during military campaigns. His water stayed fresh for years. His army survived. Modern science confirms it. A peer-reviewed study in water research found that ceramic filters lined with colloidal silver removed between 97.8% and 100% of E. coli in lab conditions. NASA used silver ionization to purify water during the Apollo missions. The Russian space program used it aboard the Mir station. It is still used today on parts of the International Space Station. And yet today, the global water purifier market, worth $45 billion, sells plastic pitchers and cartridges that expire every 60 days. Not because they work better, because they sell again. Go back to the ancient world. Empires marched across deserts and mountains where clean water meant survival. Herodotus describes Persian supply lines carrying silver vessels, not gold, not clay. Silver. The water inside remained drinkable for years. Think about what that means. No microbiology, no lab testing, no understanding of bacteria, just observation repeated over time until it became law. The Greeks reached the same conclusion. They crafted silver containers for long sea voyages. When Alexander the Great invaded India, disease spread through his army, but officers drinking from silver cups were largely spared. Hippocrates documented silver's role in preventing disease. Roman soldiers dropped silver coins into water. Later, during the Napoleonic Wars and even into World War II, armies lined containers with silver to purify water from rivers and streams. Different civilizations, different eras. Same conclusion. That is not coincidence. That is consistent observation of a real biological effect. Today we call it the oligodynamic effect. Silver releases positively charged ions. These ions are attracted to negatively charged bacterial membranes, penetrate them, and bind to essential proteins. They block the enzymes bacteria need to produce energy and replicate DNA. The bacteria cannot reproduce. It dies. The water becomes safer, a process invisible to the human eye, but powerful enough to decide who lived and who didn't on ancient battlefields. In 1968, NASA needed a water purification system for space. It had to be lightweight, compact, and require no power. Failure wasn't an option. They chose silver ionization. A small system kept astronauts' water safe hundreds of thousands of miles from Earth. The Russian program relied on it even more heavily, and still does. Think about that level of trust. Technology chosen not for convenience, but for survival in the most hostile environment humans have ever entered. Yet today, you walk into a store and find plastic filters with replaceable cartridges. Why? Because you cannot build a recurring revenue business on something that lasts for years. You cannot patent the natural behavior of silver ions. You cannot sell a subscription for a reaction that occurs naturally. So instead of banning silver, the industry simply built a system that made people forget it existed, not by removing it, but by replacing it with something more profitable, and it worked. But the science is still public. Studies show silver-lined ceramic filters removing up to 100% of E. coli. Humanitarian organizations have deployed them across parts of Africa, Latin America, and Asia, places where access to clean water is not a convenience but a daily challenge. Some of these systems have remained effective after years of continuous use. Not months. Years. Silver works because it kills bacteria, not just traps them. That distinction matters, because a trapped bacterium can still survive under the right conditions. A destroyed one cannot. There is, however, an important clarification. Silver used as a purification surface is not the same as colloidal silver sold as a supplement. Drinking high doses of colloidal silver can be harmful and is not recommended. Conditions like argyria, permanent blue-gray discoloration of the skin, are well documented and irreversible. The effective method is different: silver as a contact surface releasing trace ions into water. That is the same principle used historically, scientifically, and even in space. A controlled interaction, not uncontrolled consumption. That distinction is everything. This knowledge has never disappeared. It was recorded in ancient history, practiced by empires, documented in medicine, validated by modern science, and trusted in space missions where failure meant death. And yet somehow it became invisible in everyday life because a multi-billion-dollar industry depends on you not thinking about it. The silver is still available. The science is still public. The pattern is still there for anyone willing to look closely enough. And now, for the first time, you have seen how all of it connects.